Beyond being great at basketball, A'ja Wilson's just a great human being. A'ja wears her heart on her sleeve of her white tee. Everything you need to know about A'ja Wilson is being documented in the way that other people talk about her. Her coach, Becky Hammon, goes to X to give a testimonial about the grace, humility, and love that A'ja displays.
She's not just the best player in the world. She might be the most loved and adored by her teammates. I mean, this woman is special.
Post-game, after A'ja broke the single-season scoring record, her teammate Alicia Clark could barely even talk about A'ja's resiliency, her character, her leadership without crying.
She is a superstar, but you would never know it being in her presence. She makes you feel welcome. She makes you feel seen and heard. And now I'm going to start crying.
Alicia's crying, A'ja's crying, shoot, I'm crying. You know, one thing about this Aces locker room, they sure do love a good cry. And I mean that in the best way possible, because I know a Kleenex tissue hate to see the Aces coming. You know, this team, they love each other. They love A'ja, and she loves them back. A'ja's willingness to be vulnerable, to be accountable and generous with her generational talent and her achievements, it's a gift, and it sets the tone for the culture and the personality of the team. Out of the Olympic break, the Aces had lost 4 of 6 games. Well, now they've won 8 of 9. And I think that momentum shift has to do with the team's willingness to sacrifice and work for one another and to show up for A'ja in the way that she shows up for them. Welcome to one of my favorite segments, Roz's Roses. First rose goes to Kelsey Mitchell. She is heading to the playoffs for the first time in her career and has played a huge role in helping the Indiana Fever get back to the postseason for the first time since 2016. And it's especially commendable considering she started this season with an ankle injury and with a personal loss in her family. As the longest tenured player on the Indiana Fever, she brings a leadership and a steadiness. And out of the Olympic break, she has just been undeniable. She's leading the team in scoring. She's averaging a career high in points and field goal percentage. She's shooting 40% from 3. Her level of relentlessness, her pace, and her bucket getting gets her a rose. Our next rose is for Arike Ogunbowale. Boy, did the Dallas Wings have an injury-riddled season. Their record is not indicative of the level of talent they have on that roster. And yet still, Arike played in 38 of 39 games. And I like to say availability is a form of leadership, especially in a season like this. Arike didn't shut it down or pack it up. She didn't complain. Nope. Instead, she was number 2 in the league in scoring. At the All-Star game, she won the MVP again, and this season became the all-time leading scorer in franchise history for the Dallas Wings. So, a rose for Arike. I said it before, and I'll say it again. More noise for Tina Charles, who just became the number 1 all-time leading rebounder in the history of the game, in the history of the WNBA, surpassing Sylvia Fowles. And earlier this season, she became the number 2 all-time leading scorer in the history of the game, behind only Diana Taurasi. At age 35, Tina Charles is a leading catalyst for the Atlanta Dream having a shot to fight and claw at the postseason in a playoff berth. Last season, Tina went unsigned and didn't play in 2023. This season, she's found a fit in Atlanta and a coach in Tanisha Wright, who she's played with before, knows her, and can demand the best out of her. A bouquet of roses to one of the greats of the game, Tina Charles. The New York Liberty fell short in the WNBA Finals last season. Here's why I think they can have a different outcome this playoffs: chemistry, experience, and depth. Last year, the Liberty had the talent. This season, the Liberty have the talent and the chemistry. At practice, Courtney Vandersloot did reveal that the devastating pain of falling short in the finals brought the team closer.
It hurts, and we're all feeling it right now, and we will definitely know more and be in a better position, I think, next year or in the incoming seasons to have a different result at the end.
But it's not just trauma bonding they have. This team, they like each other. They're easy. This is a squad that likes to go to dinners. They have a book club. They do karaoke. Courtney Vandersloot, she revealed she sang Justin Bieber. She's a believer. And as far as talented singers, she said everybody should stick to their day job and just play basketball. But this team also pulled up deep for Breanna Stewart's 30th surprise birthday party. It was a star-studded affair. Even Ellie the Elephant was there. Experience matters. Sabrina Ionescu was reflecting on her first time getting to a semifinals, playing in the WNBA finals, and she described it as being like a deer in headlights. And naturally, she feels more poised and confident this season now that she knows what it takes emotionally and physically just to get there and then to be in the thick of it. Depth. I'm looking at the toughness and physicality that Benijah Laney Hamilton brings. I'm looking at that Liberty bench, and they got a wealth of players that have size, length, defensive tenacity, high IQ, a bunch of players who can shoot the three and stretch the court. Leone, Kayla, Niara, Kennedy, they've been high impact all season. The Minnesota Lynx are the WNBA's hottest team heading into playoffs. You know how they say you don't want to limp in, you want to march into the playoffs? Well, the Lynx are high knee goose stepping into the postseason. The Lynx had two huge tests, both on the road to end the regular season. They went to Connecticut, showcased their endgame execution to hit a game winner to get that W. Before that, they were in Brooklyn at Barclays playing against the Liberty, and they came in and bopped the Liberty, led by as much as 26 in the game. And it wasn't for lack of effort from the Liberty. The Lynx are just good. They D up, they share the rock, and they shoot the three. It's a deadly combination. The Lynx are deep and veteran. Y'all, Nafisa Collier's bag of moves is so deep. On one play, she'll be doing a dream shake turnaround jumper. On another play, she'll be back to the basket, posting up deep, asking for the ball. On another play, she's at the top of the key, facing up, putting the ball on the floor and getting straight to the cup. She is a threat at every range, and she plays both sides of the ball. Kayla McBride, that's their other all-star. She's a veteran, she's a leader, and she's a sniper. She's putting that thing up. Guys, 5 players on this team shoot above 40% from 3. So what that means is there's a lot of space to work with. So somebody like Courtney Williams is coming in there, carving up that space, either penetrate and pitching for assists, or she's penetrating for her killer mid-range jumper. Courtney and Alana Smith just came in from Chicago to the Minnesota Lynx, and they seem to have found a really nice home in Minnesota. How about the breakout season from Bridget Carlton? Is it just me, or do the threes of Bridget Carlton just feel super loud and devastating? I think it's because of all of the ball movement, the swing, the zipping and whipping of that ball. By the time it gets to her, the defense is scrambling and just looking sad. And then they just picked up at the trade deadline Maisha Hines-Allen, and she looks like she's been playing with them all season. The Minnesota Lynx, they're hot, heading into the playoffs.